la calle ando suelto, pero por ti me quito. Si tú me lo pides, yo me porto bonito. All right. What's the motherfucking deal, man? Welcome to the Den. I am your host, Ed Honcho. Hope everybody's well. I hope all you are doing just dandy. Alrighty. So we got a very interesting conversation we're going to have tonight. I'm tired, right? I'm tired of the nonsense. I'm tired of the shenanigans. I'm tired of the tomfoolery. No, I'm not. I enjoy the shenanigans and the tomfoolery. I ain't gonna lie. But there's a conversation. There's a phrase I hear often, a word I hear so often, right? And that word is settle, right? Settle. Settle. Somebody's always settling for somebody, right? Women are always settling for a man. He wasn't this, he wasn't that. But you don't ever hear men say, I settled for this woman, right? We're going to get to that. We're going to talk about why you don't hear that. But before we do that, we got to do the proper introduction. Okay, this is the Den. If you ate pre-roll, you're out of control. I'm going to bring that back a little bit, but not tonight. You should make sure you got your nice adult beverage. This conversation ain't necessarily for the kids. I don't think it's kids in the Den no more. I think all the kids that used to be in the Den have grown up now. So that's cool. But let's see who we have joining us. Let's get into a good conversation tonight. And yes, you see. Let me pop this out. Let me pop the chat out. I see Miss Bell, Northern Style. How you doing, Miss Bell? Lovely Miss Bell. The lovely D the Gamma. How are you doing this evening? Montero. What's the motherfucking deal? I don't have a button-up shirt on, but still do this. I don't have a tie or anything. Hello, Heidi. The lovely young Miss Heidi joining us. I give Heidi a hard time. It's only because we love Heidi. Delta Echo Golf, what's the motherfucking deal? 335. Peace. All right. Mayor dime que me extraña. Let's get this conversation started, right? So, settling. What does that really mean? Right? Yeah, you know, Heidi has been hanging around too many blacks lately because she has been late, showing up. You know what the first thing a nigga do when they go to work? They gonna tell you what they ain't gonna do. I ain't finna do it. That's how Heidi been acting lately. Heidi been acting like a nigga lately. Just coming to work. I ain't gonna show you. I ain't. I'm tell you what I ain't gonna. Well, shit in German. I'm tell you what I'm not going to do today. I don't know if this. It's a terrible accent. But the lovely Miss Lady Licious. How are you doing, Miss Lady Licious? Hopefully hear from you this evening. But let's talk about settling, right? And I'm not talking about pioneers settling some new land that they've just discovered, right? That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about people and relationships. And people saying that they settled for someone, right? And settling it sounds like such a dismissive phrase, right? I mean, settle. I settle for something less than what I deserve, right? And when you're talking about a person, that's a significant statement. Like, it can be viewed in a very negative light. I thought I poured more than that. This glass has a hole in it. But and last night, boy, I was drunk. I was pretty buzzed last night. I don't know if y'all realize that or not. I was very. Yeah. Anyway, so. Settling, but I always hear women say, "Oh, I settled for this. I settled for this guy." Or she settled for that. Or you see women talk about other men or women, the guy that they've gotten with or whatever, that they're settling. But you never hear, man, oh, he settled for that chick. But in reality, men do the majority of the settling. Okay, and I already know I was gonna go because the one thing I love about the Den is, again, like, you get to see and you get to learn, you get to understand how people think, you get to understand how people view things, right? Well, I already know how many of the ladies are going to feel about the things I'm going to say tonight. And if you disagree with what I'm saying, I would love for you to call in when I open up the line. And if you agree, then cheers to you. When you look at it across the board, right? Let's talk about, of course, we always go back to traditional values, right? We always go back to tradition. Things that were traditional versus the modern way. A more traditional woman is significantly more valuable to a man than a modern woman is. Terrible, Heidi. You're a terrible person. I bought this hat at Minute Maid. So, hi. At the game. So, hi, Heidi. How do you feel about that? But anyway, see, that's what I'm saying, Heidi, modern woman. What can you do with that? What can you do with that? Nothing. Anyway. But a traditional woman and a traditional values are significantly more worthwhile to a modern man, a more traditional man, any man, than a modern woman is, right? So if a man is dating a woman, and this is the majority of overwhelming majority of westernized women, have this modern mentality, you're settling for less than what men in prior generations received, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, you didn't get the love, the nurturing, the caring. You don't get that these days, right? Because women these days, like some other groups we talk about, want credit for the things that people did in the past. Well, in the past, I saw my grandma and, you know, she was upset and or you perceive this, right? Grandma, your grandmother, some of your grandmothers, some of y'all just come from generations of hoes. Some of y'all grandma's been hoes since they was free, like since they took the chains off. They just was going and hoeing, and then y'all, that's just your lineage. So I can't help y'all. Y'all lost. You from the whole line. I can't do nothing with you but be friends. But if you've come from a background of prior generations, the nuclear family, women then were much more valued. They were much more appreciated in the household, right? Because of what they did for the household. Now, you got to get a bitch and a maid. You know what I mean? Like, you know, you got to get a bitch and a maid. You got to order DoorDash. Like, the women these days, the song said it. Y'all were all singing it. They don't cook. They don't clean. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these motherfuckers don't clean themselves. They don't take care of kids anymore. Like, you got daycares doing the job. You got maids doing the job. You got meal prep services or delivery services or these, you know, shit. Like, the thing that women were valued for in the past. And it's not saying you just got to be at home barefoot and pregnant, you know, but that was barefoot and pregnant wasn't the value, but what you brought to the home, making the house into a home, is the thing that women did, right? That's the value. They took the resources that the man brought and they molded them, right? And they molded it into a life for the family. So there's a relationship, you know, there's a cohesiveness, you know. A lot of men back in the day, you know, like my grandpa, my mom said, he'd take a little bit out of his check, give my grandma the whole check, she'd take care of the bills, the house, the kids, whatever. He'd go do what the fuck he wanted to do on the weekends, turn up, and he would be at work first thing in the morning, Monday morning. He'd work his motherfucking ass off, drink after work, do what he does, smoke his little cigarettes, do whatever the fuck he does, be in the streets, you know. I get it from somewhere, but but he took care of home, right? He took care of home. Now I know people say, well, it wasn't right. You know, she would be stuck, and he might be out there messing with other women. I used to say that the men would have families elsewhere. Well, shit, he's a really good man. He's taking care of 2 fucking families. You got motherfuckers that ain't taking care of 1 family now, right? You know what I'm saying? Traders Village. Tell me where this Traders Village is. I get my furniture by going into rich neighborhoods on trash day. That's how you get it, right? Free my nigga Trump. My nigga Trump. Look, he can't hold a real nigga down. If they freed BG, they gonna free my nigga Trump. J Mail, what's the motherfucking deal? Let's see. Again, explain the deserved part. That's a very, very valid point. Vince, what's the motherfucking deal? I'm gonna come back to that. Matter of fact, let me pin that so I don't forget, because y'all know I get a little ADHD sometimes, most of the time. But hey, you know, so let's see. We'll call Latin America Southwest. You say that's funny. My grandma was getting drunk chasing women in Norway for 5 years. How fast do the women in Norway run? But anyway. So, you know, Trill, what's the motherfucking deal? So, that's what I'm saying. Like, back then, the men took care of home. The women took those resources and they made the house into the home. They made the home what it was. They were nurturers. They were caring. They were the doctors. They were the teachers. They were everything in one at home. Now, Shannon, the lovely Miss Shannon, aka Jailbait, they did all of these things, right? And then what happened is shit changed. Women got in the workforce, or they just want to start being more independent. And I'm not knocking any of this. You're entitled to this. But my problem with it is the mentality that came with it, right? Because for years, I mean, decades, centuries, men carried the overwhelming majority of the burden, right? You never heard a motherfucker say, fuck, I settled for this bitch. You know what I'm saying? I settled for this motherfucker. She had 5 of my kids. But no, they always held them in high regard, with high esteem. You know what I'm saying? Even though they may have been the provider, the protector, they may have still been doing the majority work, they still held them in high regard because there was a value to them. You know, a good woman has a value that you cannot put a price on. You know, but when I said that, there's going to be a lot of women that think, yeah, I'm right, ain't no price on me. But a lot of women ain't good women. You know what I mean? So as, you know, women have been pushed to the forefront, we kind of see what they are, what their nature has always been, right? And some control it better than others. From Norway to Horway. Broderick is here. Thing just got terrible. I didn't get your reference earlier, Heidi, about the product. I didn't even know the fuck that was, so I get it though. So that sounds like a never. But, you know, and so my deal is this: is like, why? Why did those men never say that? Right? Those women weren't bringing in any finances. You know, they weren't doing the things that modern women are doing now, right? They don't have jobs. They're not CEOs and teachers and all these other things. Right? They're making that money. They're getting the bag. So women start getting into a position where they were, I wouldn't say more powerful, where they were able to make more money. I actually think they're less powerful now than they were when they were in the home. Because again, you had control over the family. Women left the house, and this is the shit. This is the funniest shit when I see women complain about daycare, especially if you're married. That's stupid. Stay your ass at home. Like it's so retarded because you'll put your kids in daycare, go work a job that barely makes enough money to pay for daycare, then complain about it, right? Get you a fucking man. But you know, niggas ain't shit. And again, we go back to if you ain't got one, and you know who you laid up with. We can talk about all those things, right? And there's, again, different circumstances. We're not trying to get too much into the nuance right now, just in general. But you know, you go do stupid shit like that, right? Like daycare shouldn't be a real expense. You know what I mean? Like it shouldn't be a real thing, but for whatever reason it is, right? Again, when women left the house, daycare shoots up, becomes a big deal. More women leaving out, more women independent and doing all that other stupid shit, not being responsible for some of their actions and, you know, who they choose to be with. It causes this situation. Now you have all of this shit going on when you have someone else raising your children. Because now they're not being given your ideals. If they're being given any ideals at all, it's from someone else that you don't even fucking know. You don't even know what they're about. And not only is it your kid, you got 10, 15, 20 other kids there. So they're not getting that one-to-one direct love and attention that they need. That's why kids nowadays have more mental problems than ever. That's why they, I lost interest in the whole season already. We'll talk about that in the sauce this weekend. But the lovely Miss Sarah Lou, how are you? But like I said, so, you know, again, you say that same women will be the ones. Yeah, exactly. So once women got a little bit of power, right? Yeah. And any man that they can get the one up on, they definitely try to shit on. But it kind of brings it back to yesterday, right? You don't need a man until you need a man, right? Then it's all, why these niggas not helping me? I'm getting hit with bricks. It is what it is. But I think women lost their power when they decided to venture out, when they've kind of got this idea of you don't need a man, right? And I get it. Oh, men ain't shit. Men are dogs. Men are this. Y'all a bunch of bullshit ass motherfuckers, right? Let me tell you why. Because the dogs are the ones you want, and they have options, and they exercise those fucking options. That's why you want them, because they have options. You want what other women want. You want to be the one that says that you have it. But that nigga know he can do whatever the fuck he want to do, and he's going to. There's a lot of very good men out there, right? A lot of very good men out there that are probably gonna end up dying alone, not because they want to, but because they're viewed a certain way. What used to be considered cool, a man who did what he was supposed to, loved his wife, took care of home, was a gentleman, tried to bring romance into it and all this stuff. Now, especially when you're dealing with particular groups, but mainly westernized women, oh, this nigga's showing love, he corny. If he fucking is respectful, I've seen bitches say something, I like a man until I know he likes me back. What kind of dumb shit is that? Or they want to be treated like shit. And a lot of y'all do, right? A lot of y'all do. And the ones of us who know, right? The ones who don't know, you just don't know. But a lot of women like being dogged the fuck out, all right? So y'all's nature is not what we've been advertised. And so now it's this big conflict. But everybody needs to come back to the table. We all need to hit the reset button and figure it out. But the modern man today, in a position to want to get married, who has the ability to provide the household, has the resources, everything that, the prior man did, is getting less value. We ain't talking about because of inflation, not because, who y'all put in the White House. They're getting less value from women because you don't get the same return. They want more. Like Montero said, they feel like they deserve more without doing anything. Bitches nowadays will tell, I done seen it. Bitch will tell you, you gotta send her some cash out to talk to her. Bitch, you got nappy ass Yankee weave in your head. I would say this, what the fuck I want to talk to you for? Y'all ain't got shit to talk about. Right? We said it last night. We were in the Discord. If y'all ain't in the Discord, I'll put the link in here in just a second. Let's be honest. I don't know how many fellas in here, right? I don't know who all's what, right? We'll do it like this. Quick poll. Men hit 0, women hit 1. I want to see what we're looking like right now. Okay? Men hit 0, women hit 1. And then I'm going to ask you guys, I'm going to ask the men a question. Right? Ty Baker, what's the motherfucking deal? Well, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Nowadays, you can get a maid. You can order a meal service. You can buy some pussy cheaper than it is to maintain a girlfriend or a wife or any of that. It would be significantly cheaper, right? So, I was about to say, Ty, you sure what's going on there? All right. Okay, well, looks like more women, but here's the deal. Fellas, just answer yes or no, okay? Yes or no. Would you find women as interesting as you do right now if they didn't have vaginas? Would you be willing to have the conversations or entertain women the way you do now if they did not have vaginas? I just want to see the responses. I just want to see what is replied. It's all right, Shannon. You okay? And so I say this because women have this disillusion, and we're speaking in generality. Somebody go, well, not all. Of course, not fucking all. We know that, but It's very few. It's very few. Heidi, butthole, really? We've all seen that butthole on your OnlyFans, right? I might have 50 cents to resubscribe, but well, we know what's going on with the buttholes around here. But anyway, and I say this not to be an asshole. I say this not to be a dickhead. I say this to provide a realistic perspective on things, right? I don't want to say I like to be shocked, but I appreciate real, right? Like if I'm seeing things one way and I think that this is somebody saying, man, you got it fucked up. And this, hey, it provides me a different perspective, whether it be on myself, whether it be on something I'm thinking about, whatever. You have to appreciate that, right? Because I want to be able to operate with integrity. I want to be able to operate knowledgeably around people. Like I want to know how people feel around me. Like I tell you, if I'm around somebody who's racist, I'd rather them be outwardly racist so I know how to deal with them, as opposed to being covertly racist and playing smiley in my face but then setting me up behind my back type shit. I'm telling you women these things, right? I'm saying these things to I'm saying these things to explain to you, right, that a lot of you women put value in yourselves that's not really there. And I'm not knocking it because I love y'all, but I just wish the modern mentality needs to shift. There's a lack of appreciation, right? There's this arrogance. There's this entitlement for things that you're not qualified as your mom. You're not as qualified as your grandmother. You sure as shit ain't fucking with your great grandma, because great grandma got out there in the field. She was real with it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're not half the woman your ancestors were. We're not half the men our ancestors were. But we can acknowledge that and be okay with that. Like, men as a whole know that men are not getting better now than they were on average in the past. We know this for a fact, right? Absolutely. You say, what happened? Yeah, and I'm telling you, like, come on. Back in the day, let's just use sexuality, right? Let's just use sexuality. We're gonna do another quick poll for the men. What is this, Wednesday? I'm gonna start doing Man Mondays. Another quick poll, right? 0 for the first option, 1 for the second option. First option, Marilyn Monroe. 0 for Marilyn Monroe, 1 for Sexy Red. That's how much sensuality and sexuality has changed over just the last few decades, right? Over just the last few decades. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Exactly. I mean, come on. The power of the PUSSY. Let's be honest, bro. You see a bitch with some big old titties, a fat ass, all that shit. All that stuff is nice. But those are all accessories to the pussy, right? The pussy is the primary, el primero, right? Is the vagina. So again, but we're not half the motherfuckers our ancestors were. Too much technology, too much convenience, too much complaining, too much chemicals, too much just fraudulence. Just we're not evolving. The technology's evolving, but we as people are devolving, right? But when your society's in a decline, but a certain group starts to kind of start hitting their stride and come up, and this could be multiple groups. We can point a bunch of fingers. They're going to start perceiving things a little bit differently than people who may have already been in that position. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. So I'm saying all of this to say, men nowadays have to settle for a wife, right? To y'all, D, and hear me out, right? And I'm not y'all know me. I'm not being fucked up, but I'm gonna be real authentic with y'all tonight, right? In general, men don't give a fuck about women's opinions. We don't agree on stuff. Like, I mean, just look at any basic conversation we have in the den. In basic conversations, you see people having this. We don't agree on stuff, but we want each other because women got what men want, and don't know what the fuck. Women don't know what the fuck they want, so I can't even answer that part. But in reality, like, you wouldn't give a fuck about a chick's day if it wasn't a possibility of you putting your dick inside her at the end of that day. Like, you know, that's what you want to hear at the end of the day. Like, you don't care that she broke her fucking nail and she spilt a little bit of her venti latte on her favorite skirt. Like, you don't give a fuck. Like, who cares? You just, when does it get to the part where I get the pussy? Like, that's it. But if you look at the modern woman, that's all they put out on display. So tell me different, right? Tell me different. And I mean, it's sexy red, look like young. Oh my God, you're not fucking lying, dude. You're not fucking lying. But yeah, so like, and I'm not saying this to be fucked up, but 90% of the dudes that you coming across, they don't give a fuck, right? And most of the women nowadays don't give a fuck. But they put the pussy on display. Women are putting the pussy on the pedestal now. And men are starting to be like, I'd rather not deal with this bitch and her problems. Let me go pay for some shit and get on and buy my way. But women put their pussy out there. Now that's what it is. Oh, it's golden. I'm a goddess. You don't hear men saying stupid shit like this. Like, you don't hear a man in just a desolate situation, just a fucked up situation, will sit there and still calls, I'm a fucking god. You know, I got fucking government housing and I'm fucking broke. I ain't got shit. Fucking ain't got no car. I ain't got nothing going on food. Like, but I'm a god. Right? Like, what the fuck? Like, stupid shit. Or because I exist, I should be worshipped. Stupid shit. But again, right? Men totally say that stuff. Say what? 24 hours, let's stop the shit. But like I said, you know, it's like, and it's not, but see, well, how yes, men do something, I say a lot of crazy stuff, but it's not 24 hours. Hey, baby, want to play my dick? Hey, baby, want to play my dick? I got a dick. That's what makes me such a great man. I'm amazing because I have a dick and balls between my legs, so I worship me as a god. Come on. Really? Like, no. But, like I said, women put themselves in, so that's how y'all starting to get treated now, because that's all it is, you know. You treating everything transactionally, so that, you know, that's what it's becoming. But now that you treat everything as a transaction, and women are more sexually liberated, and I'm not opposed, I don't give a fuck. But again, as a man nowadays, you're not getting what your father got, what your grandpa got, what your great granddaddy got. You ain't get what Abraham Lincoln got. What you're getting is, again, significantly less value, but more used goods. Because with the sexual liberation, that's fine and dandy. Fuck who the fuck you want to get ran through, get gang banged, and get all the sexy red you want to do. Do it. I don't give a fuck. I'm not judging you. But at the same time, if you're putting yourself out there like that, especially publicly, then I'm not going to get involved in a relationship. Most men are not going to get involved in a relationship. The only nigga going to fuck with you is nigga who's not going to get no pussy nowhere else. And you're not going to want to fuck with that dude, right? You're going to probably cheat on him or some shit. And so it's a lot of them niggas out there. And what women don't realize, it's the attention that you're getting, that you all get all this attention. Yeah, you get attention from some niggas who just want to fuck on you. The niggas that you like, they're going to fuck on you and send you home. The niggas that you like, yeah, they might kick it with you at night, but they going to see, they're never going to be seen in public with you. You know what I'm saying? When you're taking the pictures, when you're getting flued out and all that, they don't even want to be in the motherfucking pictures. They just trying to smash this and you on your ass. But the ones that do really want to fuck with you, they're really giving you the attention, that's the ones you this nigga in my DM. Can you like this nigga? Like, really? Y'all bitches be corny. You know what I'm saying? Y'all bitches really be corny. Like, a lot of, and again, don't take it personal. If you know the shoe don't fit, don't wear the motherfucker. If you know that it don't apply, then let the shit fly. We've been saying this for years. But I guarantee you, except for maybe Heidi, because she doesn't know anybody, every last one of you women know somebody that fits, know a woman that fits to the mold what the fuck I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? So, again, my deal is this. You're going to get a woman that's had more partners, right, than your mama, your grandma, your whoever. Again, unless you come from the whole line. We talked about the whole line earlier. Unless you come from the whole line. You're going to get a woman that's had, so when you have more partners, when you have these things again, you're going to have more connections, right? So, like, if I'm the only nigga that you have, that's all you're going to know, that's all you're going to be satisfied. Well, I won't say satisfied, but it's going to be easier to satiate your desires because This is what you know. This is what you like. Especially you get to know one another. However you want to handle that. But if you done got hit by what's old buddy that didn't hit Adam 22 wife and what's Justin Slayer and the whole West Coast Productions, and you done ran through the Phoenix Suns basketball team, and you on the podcast talking about this, and then you think some nigga gonna fucking marry you? Go, I'm getting the bag. Bitches do stupid shit to impress other bitches, and then bitches believe that these hoes be happy, right? In reality, bitches be miserable with the bag. They go buy a bag, don't have no more money to put in the bag, and now they sad with a bag at home crying alone with their little dirty ass cat that ain't got no fucking cat food. So all I'm saying is, I truly, sincerely believe that on the whole, because there are still gems out there are still, I agree with you. I super agree with you on that, Heidi. One of the few things. But the media, media, social media, television media, the musical, everything has pushed this narrative, right? Because think, there are no mainstream female artists who are rapping positively. There may be artists, I know y'all named a couple, right? But there's no female artist, no mainstream female artist who's talking about being a good wife, raising a family, just, because it's all, fuck this nigga, get the money, I don't give a fuck about my baby. Like, a lot of these bitches are so stupid because they don't think about, like this is how selfish a lot of bitches are, right? Because they don't understand the actions that they do and how it impacts their children, right? And that's another conversation, because we're actually going to have a conversation. I got some good topics. I promise. Like, it's getting back to, I got some good topics that we're going to have these next few weeks. But we're going to have a conversation very soon about toxic moms, because I think that's a bigger problem than a deadbeat dad. And I don't think a lot of deadbeat dads are quote unquote deadbeat. I think, people push a narrative on it. But there are some. But we're going to talk about that, because the behavior, especially that you display towards men, the things that you do, especially around your children, they absorb that because you are the mother. Traditional mothers understood that. The ones before, they wouldn't say certain shit in front of their kids. They wouldn't do certain things in front of their kids. There's behaviors that they would never engage in, even though that may be something, that they would, but you would never know as a child, because they had class and decency, or a level of class and decency about themselves. Nowadays, bitch don't give a fuck. Bitch will exploit her kid for some views on the goddamn, you know what I'm saying? Hey man, so the only thing better than pussy is some new pussy. It depends. What was the old saying? Fucking over your for sure pussy, trying to get some more pussy. Hey, all I'm saying is this, though, right? All I'm saying is this. I'm not talking about anybody specifically. I'm just talking about the things I see, where we're at in society. And I wanted to comment on that, about the deserve. They feel like they deserve everything without the benefits of the traditional woman. Deserve. And I don't know if it's part of the entitlement generation, or this generation of entitlement. I don't know if it's part of the amount of single mothers who have raised children, because, single moms tend more to be friends with their kids than disciplinarians of their children. And then that's where the lack of respect comes from. They start treating you like a fucking, basically ATM. These kids nowadays are really, really fucked up. And they're fucked up. It's if people don't want to hear it, but they are. And it's just, you got to understand what's really going on. Like, when you raise your children a certain way, they're going to look at you a certain way. They're going to respond a certain way. And then you're letting them off into society like that. And again, there's a lot of women who raised, a lot of single moms who raised daughters who now think that they deserve everything because their mama told them a bunch of bullshit and, didn't know how to deal with men, and she was mad and all this stuff. And all that stuff got instilled into her daughter, right? And now she already don't like, never had no experience with men, but already hate men, right? But it is what it is. So, I'm done rambling. I've been running my mouth for quite some time now. I am going to get ready to open up the line, all right? So, with that being said, shout out to Dan. A Brick yesterday said I had that broad looking like Martin after she bought it. She don't want to fight no more. That chick, bro. And again, I know people are mad. She didn't deserve. She didn't deserve to be hit. You know what I'm saying? And say treats people like garbage, and you came out on them. They gave you superpowers, Heidi. I'm a firm believer in. I don't want to say punishing kids and stuff like that, but you have to mold them very, very early on. Like, kids are much smarter, can be much smarter than what we give them credit for. Even then, let's talk about that. Children of prior generations were more intelligent than the kids now, right? Y'all be thinking y'all kids are smart because they know how to plug the fucking Xbox. That little dumb nigga don't know shit. Like, that shit ain't shit. The instructions right there. Just because you don't know how to do it, don't mean you're smart. I'll be seeing this shit. My baby know how to connect the phone to it's 2 fucking buttons. Connect, pair, or some stupid shit like that. That shit kills me. He's so smart, but that nigga can't read. The nigga failing in school. The motherfucker, detention all the time. Like, he's so motherfucking smart. Like, get the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? Again. But children back then, I believe we need to bring back child labor. You think I'm bullshit, like, Andre on this shit again. I'm dead fucking serious. I am dead fucking serious. Like, my only problem, like, I've been thinking about this for the last, 3 days. My only problem with the child labor scenario is supervision, right? Because we got a lot of weirdos out here. So I wouldn't condone, just leaving your kids in the hands of a bunch of weird, that's my, if I can solve the supervision safety problem, I'm going to run for some kind of office. I'm bringing back fucking child labor. You know what I'm saying? You called me out. I ain't even see the challenge. Hold on, man. Look. Hold on, man. Hold on. Look, I ain't even see I'm on my rant. I ain't even been looking at the chat like I need to. We pop this one out. I'm over here getting attacked in the chat. I wasn't paying attention. Hold on. But yeah, I mean, think about it. Kids back in the day had responsibilities. And they were better fucking people. Kids, shit. Them motherfuckers who work McDonald's. It's a bunch of fucking buttons on the screen. You know what I'm saying? I guarantee you, if you start making kids work, we wouldn't have these ADHD, quote-unquote, problems. You stop feeding them all this high fructose fucking corn syrup. But they would be better people, right? What we do is we keep children in this incubated phase from, birth until 14 or 15. They're just kids. These motherfuckers have been kids 5, 6 years old back in the day used to be on fucking skyscrapers. You know what I'm saying? Fucking skyscrapers working the fields. I'm not talking about slavery, but that's a different conversation. But and it ain't break them. You know what I'm saying? And it ain't break them. They grew up to be adults that molded these future generations, unfortunately. But again, people start getting soft. The more technology, the more convenience, you know what I'm saying, the softer we get. What is the saying? Weak men make tough times make strong men. Strong men make good times, and then good times make weak men. So, it's kind of, we're in that part of the cycle, right? So, it is what it is. All right. So, now I got my little rants out. We'll talk about child labor, bring that shit back. But yeah, we're as a society, it's all good, because the crash is coming. And I say it jokingly, and I'm slightly jovial about it, but I am very concerned. I'm super concerned. That it's coming. I'm by mid next year, May, June, y'all not gonna be ready. I'm not gonna be ready. Unless I start getting my shit together. It's gonna get ugly, bro. I'm telling you, it's going to get ugly. All right. Let me open up the line one time. Other than that, I hope y'all are doing well. I hope that you guys are having a wonderful day. While I pull up this note, I need to stop bullshitting. I ain't gonna lie. It's like I need to find a phone service instead of using this fucking Google Voice number. I need to find a phone service so that way I can get that beeping and shit off the screen, and I can get the call queue in order so that way, you know, when you call, it just puts you in the line instead of. I got too many. I got too. What the fuck? What is all this shit I got going on? Why is this one over here? I got too much shit on this fucking ass. But yeah, pardon me while I get this together. Yeah, there was something else I wanted to say, but I don't quite remember. So again, the conversation is: are men settling more than women? Because, like I said, it's always women talking about, oh, we have to settle for men, we have to settle for men, we have to settle. But in reality, it's men who are getting the raw deal because you still have all the old standards in place. You know, divorce, alimony. I love it. Who is it? Who is it paying child support? It was not Mary J. Who just got hit with some child support and was crying about the shit, or some alimony. So one of these broads just got hit with that shit and was crying. I love it. Who is it? Was it Halle Berry? I think you have to pay $8,000. I love it. Cool. Good. Great. More of this, please. More of it, right? Equality. But you're getting less value for your commitment. You're getting you're not getting half of what you used or what men prior to us used to get, right? Now you're basically in competition with the motherfucker that you with, because now it's about money, it's about all these other things, right? In her mind. In your mind, you thinking about providing for the whole. She's thinking about keeping her money and what she can do to better herself, right? That's it. So it is what it is. Dan the man, I appreciate the love. Is this? I gotta fix it. All right, give me a second. I'm finna get my notebook. I'm gonna jot some stuff down because I know I'm forgetting these things, so I'll work on them when I get off work tomorrow. I'm gonna go get the notebook. I'm gonna open up the line. Dan, get you some rest, man. I appreciate it. Thank you so much, sir. And remember, when you see that motherfucker work telling bitches, hey, I'm Dan, bitch. That was funny. I was thinking about that shit at work today. I was like, yeah, I'm Dan, bitch. But give me 1 second, and I'm gonna be right back in 2 shakes of a monkey tail. Fucking song stuck in my head, so y'all have to pardon me for all my whistling. Little old whistling Dixie. Alright, let's go. Let's get it. Let's talk about it. Yeah, let me know, Sarah. Yeah, straight up. You want to support the stream? Streamlabs.com/The Den Show. Up in the top right hand corner. Oh, y'all can't see my screen. I gotta figure out my right from my left. Yeah, Dan the man right here, yeah. Big B, what's the motherfucking deal? Yeah. Dan graduating, going back and getting some more knowledge. So shout out to Dan, man. I have a lot of love and respect for Dan. If I could be anybody in the world, I'd be Dan. Let's talk about it. All right. Let me make sure I put the alerts on the screen. All right. I'm finna open this line. We finna talk some shit. I feel like somebody gonna. You say my pretty way of life. We know about the video. You are absolutely right, cause yeah, you do it a little bit differently. Shout out to Easy Money. What's the motherfucking deal? All right, cool. The number 832-464, and some other numbers after that. I forgot already. All right, there we go. 832-464-4555. 832-464-4555. If you'd like to call the Den line, you want to talk about tonight's topic: are modern men settling for modern women? Because I feel like that's the case. I think men are settling more than women are, right? Because if it's a man that you actually want, and I'm not saying that there men don't exist that were like our forefathers. I'm not saying women don't exist that were like our forefathers or foremothers. I don't fucking know. But the previous generation. But it's fewer and fewer on both sides. But I think the women are trending downward at a velocity significantly faster than men are. Like it's not even like a slant, like nose diving on a plane. It's like that's where women are at right now. Like that's where we're that's kind of how I feel like we've gotten to. You know what I mean? Make sure I got the right fucking settings and shit on too. Because then I'll be like, oh, I didn't know. I had the wrong things on. I didn't put it on properly. All right, there we go. Yeah. Only answer Dan's call. If Dan the man want to call, I definitely will hear Dan's call. But I feel like Kamala called herself Indian again. You know what I'm saying? Oh no. When we wake up tomorrow about Kamala. I've been trying to avoid the political conversation, right? And I'm gonna tell y'all why. Because it definitely creates a different energy. And not that I don't like having this, I know I love talking shitty about Democrats. Y'all know I enjoy that, right? And then some of the Republicans too. Politicians as a whole, like, I really fuck them all. Like, because I think if you aspire to be a politician, I think there are a few people who genuinely have an interest in improving society, but I think most people who aspire to be politicians are power hungry. And to me, that's a sign of an issue, right? It's not my cup of tea, because to succeed in politics, you got to do a lot of dirt, right? You got to, what they call it, mudslinging. All that shit is weird to me. Like, there's a lot of character concerns with politicians to me. You know what I mean? And so that's just kind of why I haven't been doing as much. But just because that was brought up, and that's a legitimate possibility, right? Because I think they want him. I don't think they want him to run again, because they're losing the primary base that they can count on, right? Niggas is talking about bring back Trump. Niggas is not fucking with Biden. Some of y'all niggas still dancing in them mailboxes like y'all want to hide your face now. You know what I'm saying? Y'all, what's me? Some of y'all motherfuckers was out there doing that. I'll never forget. Y'all motherfuckers was out there doing the fucking electric slide. Y'all was doing the electric slide. Now your electricity prices sliding in the wrong fucking direction. Yeah. Anyway. What I'm thinking about? I'm not surprised, but I've been hearing that for years. Like, again, a lot of the stuff that's coming to the forefront is stuff that you've been hearing for years, like the Obama gay stuff. That's been rumored for a long time, for a long time. You know, and now that they have the things and they're the letters and shit like that, but you got people who still don't want to hear it. Been saying that Obama was the gay president, right? There's a reason. Y'all thought they picked him because he was black. You know, and I used to be one of them motherfuckers like, I was pro black president. When you start thinking of stuff, you get out your emotions and you start thinking about shit. You get out your emotions and start thinking about shit. You know what I'm saying? I think every black person did initially who wanted to vote for Obama. They was like, black man, it's a good representation. It's a good look. And when you saw what it really was, you have more in relation to your average white American citizen than you do to Obama. That motherfucker played y'all. He was a op, right? Oh, the cook got cooked. Well, I would say boiled, but whatever, marinated. I don't know. But again, I used to hear all the stuff they would say about Michelle. I'm like, no, fuck, you're not going to talk about that black woman that way. How dare you? Now, I got questions. I don't think I got it. I'm going to post it again. I think I screenshotted it. There's a picture. There's a picture of Michelle and Barack's feet together on the beach. And if it wasn't for the skin tone, you would not know whose feet were whose. Okay? Like, well, I don't think I still got. Look, I would love to talk to prepaid. I've been listening to some old dead calls, man. Y'all don't understand. Like the prepaid call hour. Well, I wouldn't call it call, but prepaid would come in, fire the dead up, and just dip out like nothing happened. But it was so eloquently put, but relatable. You know what I'm saying? Even to people who may not have agreed or disagreed with whatever. Like prepaid had a way of addressing things to people and making it click. Like, you know, stuff that you may, don't breathe. And then he has a way of formatting it to where you can understand it. That shit was so. But the Ashley prepaid call, oh my God. Said, will I accept a call from Nevada State Prison? Oh no. And look, don't hit me with the securities. But yeah, so you know, it is what it is. Like, but I tell you, my views have changed. Like even with the conservative stuff. Like, come on, if y'all really paying attention to the fucking Republican, if you're a conservative, Republicans failed you. They've been failing. You just want to, you know, you align yourself with something and you want to have allegiance towards it. But they've been failing you too. All these motherfuckers a sack of shit. They motherfuckers pussy. Like they ain't fighting. They don't. Their brand is bad. Like they don't. It's so much shit that, you know, I want to like, but Republicans make themselves look bad, and there's certain things politically that they do that make those fringe voters kind of stay away. Unbeaten, what's the motherfucking deal? Shannon, good night. You have sweet dreams. Make sure there's no cucumbers in your bed. So there's certain things that they do that you can kind of question it. But I get it. It's like the lesser of two evils. So I understand. But again, like I say, all politicians is crap. You, at this point in time, you as an individual have to look out for yourself. No, I mean, it's always should have been that way. But nobody's saving you. The politicians don't give a fuck about it. At this point, like I tell you, there's going to be a collapse in this society. Politicians know it. Big business motherfuckers know it. They're not talking about it, but we got a call coming in. Hold up, baby. I'm gonna get the call. Hold up, baby. I got a couple more ringtone on. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling in to the den this evening?
We have Montero.
Mr. Montero, how are you doing this evening?
Hey.
Can you hear me?
Hey, Honcho. It's a little bit of a delay.
A little bit of a delay. Okay, hold on. Let me see what we got going on here. Let me see if I can resolve that. Give me 1 second. Oh, you know what? I wonder. Let me see something. Give me 1 second. I think I know what we got going on here. Give me 1 second. Got too many wires, too much junk going on around here. All right. Hold on 1 second.
No, you good, Honcho. You good.
Okay. See if that might help. It may or may not. Hopefully it does. Let's see. All right, is there any difference now, or is it still catching a little bit of a delay?
A little bit of a delay, but it's not a big deal. So.
Okay. All right. So what's on your mind as far as tonight's topic, man? Do you feel like men are doing the settling? Are they getting shortchanged compared to their predecessors, or do you feel differently?
So Honcho, before I get into that, I want to say I missed you, brother. It's been a long time. I don't know if you remember. I'm a cop. I'm a white cop.
Yes.
Still trying to bridge the gap between the the community and the police, and I'm working on that. And you know, it's been a struggle lately, but we've made progress. So it's good to see you again, hear you again, because you went away for a while, and it kind of broke my heart, man. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, you know, sometimes life intervenes a little bit, and you know, you kind of gotta step away, get things back in order. But you know, hey, we back now, and hopefully things stay on track.
You healthy, good. It's good to see you again, brother.
Thank you.
So, I guess my question is, when you say scraps, what are men selling? Like, what does scraps mean?
Well, scraps was a little bit of hyperbole for the title,
Sure.
but it's kind of, but then compared to, you know, personally, I feel like what women brought to the home, what men are seeking out of women, you're only getting a fraction of that these days in your modern woman compared to, you know, prior generations traditional women. So that's kind of where I was going with it. Like, you're only getting a piece of what you were getting, or what men in the past got.
So what do you mean by a piece? Because so let me update you, Honcho. I apologize.
Okay.
It's been a time since we talked. Since the last time we talked, I've been married, and I have 2 children now. My daughter's 3 years old. My son is 1. No, and she's an amazing. She's a what we call a traditional woman. But I guess what I'm asking is, when you talk about scraps and modern women, what are they lacking that traditional women are not? Like, what is their comparison to traditional women?
I think that traditional women cared more about the outcomes of their family, their home. You know, that was their primary focus. The modern woman is more career oriented. To me, they're more self-centered about their own personal goals and achievements, more so than the family. And so I think the priorities or the focus is different.
Now, can they be both though? Because so I'm a cop. I have no higher education. Like, I only have a high school diploma. But my wife has a master's degree, and she's basically she does psychology for autistic children, and she makes well over 6 figures. But at the same time, she gave me my children, and she's a dedicated wife. I always have a meal on the table. When I get home, like, everything is clean, laundry's done. Like, she's traditional, but at the same time went on and, you know, did her own thing when it comes to a career.
Oh yeah, I think that you can be both. Absolutely. But I think it like I said, what you value or what a woman values more. So to me, it sounds like, although she does have the career, she still values you as a man, because you're out there working hard. So you got a meal on the table. You come home to a clean house, even though she's out and she's working as well. Actually, that is being, you know, a little bit more of a burden on some women. I can see where they get frustrated, but it's, you know, because they feel like, well, I'm working as well, and then I have to come home and, you know, and then do these things too. So I think it's rarer to see both, but
Absolutely.
If you have one that is both, then it's a goal.
Sure. I feel like my wife is not commonplace. Like, it's not a usual thing that goes on. So when we talk about modern men must settle for scraps, like how low does it get? And are we talking about, like, you absolutely have to settle?
No, I mean, I believe.
And have a bad life, you know, because we all know we're men. Like, we need vagina. Like, let's not lie.
Absolutely.
Like, you're gonna get it one way or another. It's either gonna make your life better, or it's gonna hurt you. Like, so how do modern men and modern women, like, how do you get along with that? I guess my question is.
To me, that's a tough one. I don't even know if I have the answers, because it seems like there's a divide, and like you said, we need it. Like, men, I want vagina. I want a woman. I would like to think most women want a man. I think biologically that is the connection. But in society we have this divide. I don't know how to resolve it because I mean I don't know the answer. But as far as settling and how bad does it get, I think it's kind of a case by case basis because you don't necessarily have to settle. As an individual, you don't have to settle for something that you don't want. But like I say, I think in general and across the board, the women that are available, the Western women, the more modernized women, like I say, to me, they just don't hold the same value. So there are individual women. There are women who cook, clean, like I say, take care of home. Some have careers. Some just want to be housewives. I don't think it's wrong with either one.
So, Honcho, let me ask you, why do you think Western women don't hold those same values like our grandmothers used to do? Like, is it social media, like OnlyFans? Like, what happened?
I think it's a little bit of everything. It's a little bit of the social media because they see other women and how they're living, and it makes them feel like they're missing out on something. Or you watch TV, you see all the housewives shows, you see all the all these reality shows where women are they're living these lavish lifestyles, and they like Heidi mentioned earlier, Sex in the City. I think that had a huge impact on the mentality of a lot of women. And then, like I say, with OnlyFans and things like that, like I don't know if it's quote feminism. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the fact that they are more liberated. They do have more free will, and then maybe they just naturally this is what they want. If they weren't under, I don't want to say under me. I don't think that's the case. But I mean, I don't really know the real answer. But I feel like, and it's gonna sound sexist, it's gonna sound misogynistic, it's gonna sound whatever. I believe the balance is needed, right? Because women are very emotional. They're very
Absolutely.
emotional. And so you need a man to help correct when you are over emotional, to keep that balance, right? And men can be some men can be too, emotionless, and so maybe you need that. You need like a woman needs to be that place where that man can let that guard down. A lot of women don't want that now. A lot of women are combative now. They're not they're not making the house into a home, your castle or whatever you come to. Now it's a battlefield. You done got off work, you've been dealing with all kind of shit all day. You yourself, you're dealing with the worst of society all day. You don't want to come home and have to, fight in your home. This is supposed to be the place you let your guard down, you can relax, you ain't gotta, be worried about everything. A lot of women nowadays tend to make it uncomfortable. I don't know if it's jealousy, I don't know if it's I don't know what it is. Right? And I wish I did.
I guess
I wish I did.
that's the phrase that's been termed is modern woman. Like,
Yes,
it's
yeah.
because of that. That's
Yeah.
why that term exists, right?
Mhm.
So, I guess, where do we get away from our grandmothers and our mothers being traditional women? And it's like nowadays you've got these women that, there's nothing wrong with being career focused, right, Ancho? There's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
But
Right.
when did we get away from the nuclear family, right? I mean, that's our purpose.
Yeah.
To have kids, start a family, procreate. Like, when did we get away from that? Is it social media? Is it, I don't know, man. Like,
Let's see. First name, my bad, because I need you to call in after we finish speaking this, because that comment, I don't know what you're saying there. You're saying I'm gonna come back and address that, but I think we've gotten away because I think it's the entertainment, because media is catered towards women. We all know that the television shows, the commercials, because women consume more entertainment, they consume more media than men do, and I
Sure.
think that somewhere along the way, and then you have those women who have had the bad experience, or they don't want to live like they say. They see the women out, like the Texans, going on vacations. They're getting flown to these fancy places, and they're not having to make that commitment, right, or whatever. So they feel like, why be like grandma, be stuck in the house, and I can go all over the world, and then when they kick me out, and go home and be lonely by myself and cry. But I don't know. Like I said, I think there's a disillusion. I think the emotions play a big part in the jealousy. They see other women living a certain life, and they feel like, why not me, right? And so they get out there and they kind of start doing these things. But I don't think a lot of women are happy living that kind of lifestyle. I believe most women
Well,
want a good man at home.
I think they might not end up happy, but at the same time, you see these women and they see the online lifestyle, and a man who makes 60 grand a year working a good to go job, has security. It's not enough. It seems like it's not enough for these modern women. Which is crazy because if you think about it, if you make 60 grand a year, you're doing okay for yourself. If you budget, you're kind of living your life, as that, mediocre, lifestyle. But if you really look at it, it's not good enough for a lot of women. If you look online, it's like they talk about, I want a man who makes 200 grand a year. Yeah. I want a man who makes 400 grand a year. And they're serious, Sancho. They're dead serious. Like, they're not fucking lying.
Yeah.
Like, they want that. And I guess my question, and I know other people have to get on your chat, but are we doomed? Are young men doomed?
Yeah, absolutely. I hate to say it, but yeah.
We're all not going to make 200 grand. Are young men who are 22 to 25 years old looking to start a life, settle down, are they doomed? I guess is my question. In your humble opinion.
Yes, absolutely. And I've been saying it for a while. I do believe I don't envy the young men. Even myself, for example, like just last time you saw me, I was in a relationship and I'm single. I've been out in the market since then, and I've kind of seen what's out there. Right? And it's scary because we're talking about, I'll be 39 in a couple of days. So I'm pushing 40, right? And I've always preferred older women, right? In my age, preferably older, but whatever. But I see older women now displaying the same behaviors, mentality, mindset that the younger women are. So if the younger women don't even have good role models to look up to say, hey, the way you're living, it's not ideal, get some reason, get some sense about yourself. Nobody's going to check them and say to regulate the behavior. I think it's just going to get worse and worse. And like I say, you got young men nowadays. A lot of young men don't want to be men. I will admit a lot of men aren't built like men before. A lot of people aren't going to be able to afford the American dream because things have gotten out of control. It's going to be difficult for a lot of younger men to do that. And people are going to see what those people did before. Well, so-and-so got a house and so-and-so got this and so-and-so got that. It's always going to be a comparison. And, like I say, women, the comparison's a thief of joy. And women are going to compare. They're going to see what other women have. They're going to feel like they want that. Oh, well, so-and-so boyfriend taking her here, there, and there. I should get that too. Well, you don't know what so-and-so is doing. You don't know what's really going on in that situation, but you see it and you want it. And so you're going to compare that. You're going to be like, well, if you can't, it's going to be another man that can. And, we can talk about the hypergamy. We can talk to monkey branching or whatever you want to call it. But, I think young men are going to have a very, very hard time. And I think things are going to be worse.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I really hate saying that because, I don't want my son to grow up and have to be in that environment, like when, I'm your age, Hancho, and when we were growing up, we didn't have cell phones, you didn't have social media. When you wanted to talk to a girl, you manned up, right?
Exactly.
You manned up, and you went and talked to her, and that's what got you, in the game. But nowadays, it's like these kids they can't even talk to each other. They're so socially weird that they have to. The only way they can get together is online, Facebook, Instagram, whatever. And I feel like we're doomed. Like, I really do, Honcho. Like, when we talk about scraps, I mean, they really are getting the scraps. And I feel like women the same way. I feel like women are getting scraps too. Getting pussy-fied, dudes who've never been in a fight. They can't change a tire on a car. They don't know how to do anything. Like, they're pussified.
Yeah.
It's the pussification of American males. So it doesn't just go with women. It's with males too. I mean, would you agree?
I would definitely agree. And I think, that men, we're supposed to, form the foundation. So I think that, like you said, we're getting more pussified. That's kind of emboldening some women. And that's kind of why things I think are trending that way. Because a man should say, hey, this baby is unacceptable. Again, get it in order. But we're not doing that no more. Men don't, like you said, they're afraid to talk to women. They're afraid to say anything because a lot of men don't want to, they're afraid to talk themselves out of some pussy that they wasn't getting in the first place, And so they're afraid to correct a woman's behavior, to check her, to say, hey, man, that's unacceptable. Or that's not, appropriate. But so it's kind of where we are now. I definitely agree. I think it's on both sides. And if both sides are deteriorating, it's not going to get better.
Yeah. They're not built like we were. They really aren't. Like, there's literally no going up to a girl and trying to run game anymore. That's how pussified these guys have gotten. But anyway, Honcho, I'll let the next guy on the call. It's good to hear from you, brother.
Absolutely.
Like, I'm glad you're good. I'm glad you're safe.
Thank you.
And
glad to talk to you. And again, congratulations on the marriage and the children. So shout out.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. And again, I'm trying to every day bridge that divide between the police and the community. I'm working hard. So let me know, man. You ever want to talk? I know you're in your area. If you ever want to, if I don't know if you interview people, but if you ever want to, get together and get that done, like I'm a cop that I'm willing to speak out, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. I think that'll be that would actually be a real good deal. I think we should let's chop it up and let's work something out, because I think it'll be a good conversation. And I think it's something that people could relate to. People need something like that.
I think so. All right, Honcho, be safe, my brother. All right.
Mr. Montero, thank you for calling, man. It's good to hear from you.
Good to hear you too, brother.
Absolutely. Thanks, sir. Shout out to Mr. Montero. Man, y'all don't understand, right? I love, especially, I love hearing from new people, but then folk that made their mark, and it's just to hear from y'all again. That's a very, very important thing. Like you said, to know that y'all are right. Like, because my mind wanders. We've had interactions, and so it'll be people who come, man, I wonder, even if it's just briefly, I wonder, how so and so is doing, or how, whatever doing. It's good to see Mr. Montero. Lady Listeners was in here earlier. Ken popped up yesterday. Man, I fuck with y'all. Like, this is a odd community, but I really fuck with y'all. I know some of y'all be out with it. Now, first name. It would be so much easier if you would call in so we could address this, because you are talking crazy. I know who first name is. This is exactly who I thought it was. And I said in the den, doing the Discord, exactly what you're doing right now. So here's my thing, right? America's fatter than ever. And you talking about men don't want to eat, right? I don't know what kind of dudes you fucking with. You must be on some cougar action or something. You talking about niggas eating chicken nuggets or something. You fucking with them NBA young boys. That's what you over there doing. And come on, like beans? Look, beans, rice. Look, you got to just give me the beans and rice. I'm good. I'm not gonna complain. Cabbage, fried. I've been trying to minimize my fried intake. But here's my thing. Everybody knows. And I don't think there's a man in here who will disagree. And this is what I'm talking about. It's what you're not getting. This a lot of men don't know because they don't, especially younger dudes. The way to a man's heart is through his stomach. Who told you that? Grandma? Great-grandma? How you think they got your granddaddy? Back in the days, men used to court, right? You had to have a level of discipline because you might not have been fucking out right on the first night, right? We in a society, everybody got sneaky links. That's why these relationships don't matter, because you motherfucker will get in a relationship just to have a fucking sneaky link. It'll be a motherfucker they been fucking with they'll fucking with somebody new, get in a relationship with this mother, still be fucking with this mother. Why don't you go be with this motherfucker? Oh, because it's just the pussy, right? It's just the pussy. You know what I'm saying? How you gonna... Men don't know how to eat. You can't eat what you ain't getting. So how the fuck you gonna eat a home cooked meal if ain't nobody at home cooking the meal? Come on now. Stop the ridiculousness. Stop the ridiculousness. It's women 40, 50s can't fucking cook. Right? You know why he might only have a taste for junk food? Because his mama couldn't cook. If he was born different because his mama couldn't cook, you know what I'm saying? Because she wanted to look the 80s. 80s was a wild time, boy. 80s was a wild time. When y'all think this shit started, you feel me? Again, that's all they can do. They can't cook. See, that's why you don't want to call, because, you know, we have a real conversation about this. All that stuff you saying is not going to make no sense. So it's cool. I understand why you don't want to call. It sounds good in the comment section. It sounds very good. It sounds very good in the comment section. But here's the thing too. Let's be honest though. Y'all want to be 1,000 about it. Women, I'm trying to give y'all a up because. Oh, let me take this. I need to cut my ringtone. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling in to the den this evening?
Yo, it's unbeaten.
Oh, hold on, my bad. Unbeaten. What's the unbeaten motherfucking sports? What's the motherfucking deal, my brother? How are you doing this evening?
Man, I'm doing all right.
Okay.
I'm doing all right. So tonight's topic, what is it? Men must settle for scraps, something like that.
Yeah. So basically, the gist of the conversation is that the modern man, when dealing with the modern woman, is not getting the same return on a relationship that his father got, his grandfather got, great grandfather got. To me, that women back then brought more to a relationship than the women do now.
Yeah. I think I heard the last call, and I think you kind of touched on it a little bit, but I think the world is, from my perspective, I think the world is so connected from social media and, I mean, hell, YouTube. We're so connected. There's such a plethora of ways to connect with people that those relationships seem like they can be replaced.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah,
Like
yeah.
they don't necessarily value it. Whereas like back in the day, I can't say back in the day. I was born in '96, but like, you feel me? Like the world was less connected. You feel me? Like you have to like kind of savor those connections a little bit more. So now that, you know what I'm saying, somebody can hop on Tinder, they can hop on Instagram, they can hop on a plethora of dating websites that you know what I mean? You don't value this person. You just kind of take it and dump it all.
Yeah.
If it doesn't necessarily fit exactly what you're looking for.
Yeah.
All right.
I agree.
So for me, like recently I've been reading a little bit on game theory.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you have like risk dominance versus payoff dominance.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So risk dominance would be, I'm still kind of learning the subject as best as I can, but I know risk dominance is like, okay, I'm more concerned about the variance. I'm more concerned about trying to control everything. I'm more trying to control the variance and risk, and that's all I'm doing. I'm just trying to mitigate the risk.
Yeah.
Versus you have payoff dominance, where it's like I may be taking a little bit of a risk, but my ultimate goal is the payoff at the end. Right. So I think typically, like in human nature, what I've been reading, human nature is when you have such a robust selection or robust decision tree, people tend to go with more risk dominance, right? They're trying to mitigate the risk, and so this might be where you might introduce the idea that why women would, like you're saying, only going after men with money is because there's so many men. I'm trying to mitigate the risk. I'm just like, okay, what's going to give me the best results? Like, what can I guarantee that I'm at least, you know what I'm saying? My heart might get broken, but at least I might get something out of it. And trying to mitigate that risk instead of, okay, he may not be the richest guy, but I understand the quality of life at the end of this, right? That payoff dominance, right? It's going to be a way better quality of life instead of having to deal with all that other stress.
Yeah, I can see that. That makes sense. But I want to go back to the point you were making about how we're so interconnected, and
Yep.
that can be a factor because if you look at it again, that especially when you live in smaller communities and you know you're the community around you, you know everybody knew everybody, so you weren't going to be out there kind of doing too much because of course it would get back. But now you can, like I say, you could be in Houston and you holler at somebody in Miami or New York or California, and then you know you can go here in Montana. Who fucking knows? You go fly there, they fly out. You go, and you know it's like you said, it's too much interconnectivity. And like I say, you see the next thing, oh, that bitch ass fatter, you know, titties bigger. He got more money, or he got a nice car, and then you know, fuck this motherfucker I'm with. I'm finna go try to, like I say, you know, get on over here, and then it may not work out. It is what it is. But then back in the day, maybe you were more forced to deal with, you know, what you had locally. And then when you did have somebody, you didn't have all these options to distract from you, so you kind of maybe stayed more committed. So I don't know. I don't know if that's a factor or what.
Yeah, yeah. It's too much for him, man. Like it's too much.
So
And so that he's pretty much the average man that does.
So
You feel me?
you said you're born in '96, so you're a younger gentleman. Now, someone in the chat is saying that men don't eat anymore. Do you like to eat?
Oh, I love it.
What's your favorite
Love
food?
it. Oh. Man, pizza. Pizza probably up there.
Pizza's your favorite food?
Pizza or barbecue. One of the two.
Pizza. What's your favorite pizza place?
My favorite what?
Your favorite pizza place? My bad, I'm way over here, away from the mic. What's your favorite pizza place?
Pizza place. Oh, there's Dan's Pizza is on Highway 3 over here in I think that's League City.
Oh, yes. I'll check that out. Let's stay in League City. I don't think that is that like a new spot that's been there for a while.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Best pizza I've ever had.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So first name. This gentleman was born in '96. He's a younger gentleman. Okay, so the pizza is his favorite. Pizza favorite. And he's not saying like some old Domino shit. He might have some super classy ass pizza. That might be some gourmet pizzas. You know what I'm saying? But again, so you being younger, and I don't know if you're currently out, you know, in the dating scene or what you see, but what do you see from a younger perspective? Like, what are you saying, you know, with the women in your age range or just relationships period in your age range?
Right now, dude, at this age, you start running into women who, like, previously it was on fun and games, but now they starting to see their homegirls get married and having kids, and they starting to feel like they being left out, and so you kind of smell the desperation around them. So it's, yeah. Yeah. For me personally, I'm a super picky type of dude. You feel me? For me, I'm not really dating to date. I'm looking for a wife.
Yeah.
Straight up and down. I don't date. I'm looking for a wife right now. So
Okay. I respect that.
I'm a little bit more picky in with my selection.
Yeah. So do you feel like what percentage of women that you come across do you feel like are wife material?
That I come across. Ooh.
Or just period, and as a whole, what percentage of women do you think are wife material?
Ooh. Man. I would say probably like 10%.
Okay.
Like ready to marry right now, 10%.
What is your
Like that's being honest.
what is your standard? What are your benchmarks for a wife? Like, what are you what are the things that are mandatory? Like these are these this is a must have.
Must have. Must know how to cook. That's for sure. Um, you, you must be. How do I say it? Like I guess the word. I guess the way to describe it would be feminine. Like I've noticed like a lot of women in my age group are like a little bit more masculine than I want them to be. Does that make sense? Like there's a lot of women who are influenced by the Cardi B's and the Megan Thee Stallions and you feel me, the sexy reds of the world. They're a little bit more masculine than I would want them to be. Let's see. Got a good. She gotta be feminine. Of course, she gotta be beautiful. You feel me? Got a good head on her shoulders. Ultimately, dude, like the goal is to find a woman that, like, if my daughter turned out exactly like her, I'll be proud of my daughter.
How badly do you think that the Cardi B, Sexy Red, Sukianas, and Meg Thee Stallions of the world, how much damage do you think they've done to the modern woman?
What was the question?
I said the Cardi B, Sexy Reds, Megan Thee Stallions of the world, Sukianas, and the music and the stuff that's getting portrayed. How much damage do you think that they've done to the modern woman?
Oh, tremendous damage. It's not even a question, bro. I mean, shit. You just go on social media, like, you feel me, like they. I feel like the type of things that women will put on social media is things that, like, the older generation would have died with. Like they just don't give a fuck about, like, story times. They're telling, like, oh, how they just got a train ran them, or some wild shit that just you should never ever share or ever to anybody, but they're just willing to just share that type of information on the internet.
Well, your motherfuckers don't give a fuck. They want attention. There's some free attention out there. They're gonna do whatever for it.
Exactly. Yeah, some shit that you would never admit to anybody, or should never admit to anybody. It's just commonplace on social media.
Well, so them motherfuckers ain't got no real friends. Because if you got real friends, you got somebody. Motherfuckers ain't got no real friends. They start turning to social media and just saying stuff. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's wild. Okay. So do you have a deadline or an age that you would like to be married by, or are you just gonna hold out until you find the right one?
Damn. I don't have a deadline, if that's what you're asking. No.
Okay. So, how long do you think it takes to date someone before you decide? I mean, say everything is good. Like, how long do you think you have to be dating before you say, all right, I'm going to make this woman my wife?
About a year.
About a year? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not really looking to play a bunch of games. If I know, yeah, I'm taking that.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. So someone in the comments asked, why do you even want to get married?
Damn, that's a good question. Because I want to have kids, and I think that's the best environment for kids. Have two parent household.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, there's no. I mean, statistics show 2-parent household or a father only household that they're almost equivalent. Versus, you got a kid primarily staying with one, and we know the statistics and the outcomes of that. But okay, cool. That makes sense. That definitely makes sense. I mean, and that's a responsible thing, because you got a lot of motherfuckers out here like, fuck it, it's just a kid. Fuck it, that's my baby mama, which I think is weird shit. Again, that we've normalized that. That's part of the problem, that we normalize and we give respect and value to people in position, like you said, that back in the day would have been ostracized. And I'm thinking when we normalize the term baby mama, that's when shit really started going downhill. Because now it's like, oh, I don't have to aspire to be a wife. I just got to get them to knock me up. You know what I'm saying? Shit, I ain't got to get the ring. I ain't got to get this. And then instead of getting me, a ring and government daddy will take care of me. You know what I'm saying? I just get the baby from him, and government daddy will take care of the rest. So yeah. I mean, Yeah, I can see what you're saying.
Yeah,
Social media made it worse.
yeah, that people do it backwards too. You feel me? They'll have the kids, then talk about getting married. Like, of course, people have done that. It's been successful, but like a lot of those relationships have also failed. Not saying that a marriage can't fail after kids, but you get what I'm saying. Like you kind of putting the train before the caboose or something. Like you putting it in backwards order.
Definitely makes sense. Okay.
Just to really make.
Anyway, I'll let him answer that in the comment section. You seem to be very concerned about that. Obviously, the gentleman doesn't. If he wants kids, he probably doesn't have kids already. You know, a lot of us, you know, especially the black men, we're not as bad off as some of the black women. Not all of us have children. You feel me? Not all of us have kids.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Cause
you know what
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I've realized. You realize the same was it 50% of black men are single and childless, and then 30% of black men are 30% of black men are married. So it's like 20% of black men are making that 80% of black children that's born out of wedlock.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's why men ain't shit, because they all want the same 20% of men that they all fucking. And, you know, they want him because so-and-so got him. And Goofy bro, he done knocked up 3 bitches, but I'm gonna make him act right. Well, bitch, you finna be number 4. You know what I mean? And that's the lies they be having. And they justify it. Now all men ain't shit, but like you said, you got 50% of men out there, good men with jobs, hard working, but they don't check off the 6-foot box, or they don't check off the 6-figure box. Men are better people, because men would never put women like, well, she's got to have double D's. She has to have 48 inches of ass. She needs to, you know, like all this stupid shit. She can't be this. I like, yeah, you got certain niggas that like certain types of bitches. They have a preference, right? But women come out and say the most ridiculous shit. And it be the ones that ain't even halfway close to that. Motherfucker will be looking like Snuffleupagus in this motherfucker and talking about, he's got to look like, you know, fucking Fabio, and he's got to be Bill Gates money. Like, bitch, what makes you think you fucking deserve? Like, what have you done in your life that makes you think you deserve it? And if you ain't got them kind of niggas knocking down your door, what makes you think that type of nigga fucking wants you? You know what I mean? But this is the modern society. They see other women doing it, so they feel like they deserve it too, with no merit.
Mm-hmm. The worst ones are the ones who actually get those type of dudes. But they don't realize that they the fun girl.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So they get kind of passed around and have a hyperinflated feeling of self-worth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly, and that's the thing. That's what the motherfuckers don't realize.
You done fucked on 3-4 NBA niggas, but still you still ain't got no ring. Yeah. Like how that works.
But they feel like I fucked them. Like, modern women don't understand the difference between getting fucked and a relationship. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And somebody actually being committed. They don't understand the difference between commitment and getting fucked. It's like, yeah, motherfucker can fuck you consistently and a bunch of them, but they ain't made no fucking commitment to your ass. You know what I'm saying? Versus a motherfucker can make a commitment to you and never fuck you. You know what I'm saying? It's like, but like I say, modern bras don't know the difference. They don't understand the value of the difference. Like you mentioned with the game theory. So, yeah.
Hey, man. They'll figure it out sooner or later. Yeah. 40 years old, shit, turn into a cat lady.
The easy way or the hard way. And you start to see a lot of that too. You see a lot of, I don't want to work, I don't want this, crying on social media, crying about the shit. But, you know, all my women independent. You know, hey, do your thug thing.
Hey man, you want to be a traditional woman, you got to have traditional responsibilities. Yeah. Shit, take care of that house, take care of them kids. Yeah. Can't be a modern woman with traditional woman benefits.
Yeah, straight up. But you know, they want to have their cake and eat it too. And then when somebody tell them they can't, all of a sudden they're oppressed because you got to live in the same world as the rest of us. Somehow I'm hating on you.
Ain't no thing is nothing for something. Something for nothing.
Exactly. Let's say no such thing as a free lunch. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay. Do you have any other thoughts on the topic? Anything else that you would like to share?
No, man, that's pretty much it, man.
Okay. Well, one, like I was saying, you with Mr. Montero and some of the other callers we had, man, unbeaten. It's good to see you. Well, not see you, but at least to talk to you. And you know, it's been a while, so I'm glad that you could join us this evening, man.
Yeah, same, man. Same. It's been a while, man. But yeah, for sure.
I'm gonna have to check out that Dan's Pizza too. Like you said, it ain't that far. I'm gonna have to see what's up next
Oh
time.
yeah, it's the truth for sure.
Okay. I'm about to jot it down. I'm for sure gonna check it out. If it ain't good, I'm gonna get on this stream and I'm gonna talk about it. I'm gonna say this nigga on B told me to get this nasty cardboard pizza, man.
I guarantee you that's gonna be the best pizza in the city.
Okay. I'm gonna check it out. I'm for sure gonna check it out. All right.
All right.
That's a bad one. Mr. Beaton, I thank you for calling in this evening, sir, and you have you a good evening.
Yes, sir. You too.
All right, thank you. Shout out to Mr. Beaton. Young man, sound like he got his head on his shoulders. I don't know, I wouldn't. At that age, I don't think I've ever been thinking right. It is what it is. I think it's like the time I was thinking sensibly. Shit always go right. It is what it is. You know, but there's a point I wanted to make, and I meant to put that out there earlier, and I didn't say it when I was talking about why men are settling. I kind of touched on it briefly on the last call. Damn it. Remind me. I'll come back to that. I gotta cut this ringtone off. I got this ringing on everything. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling in to the den this evening?
Hey, it's Belle.
Hi, Miss Bell. How are you this evening, Miss Bell?
Good. Wasn't going to call in, but there's a couple of things I want to call out.
Okay.
Your spelling bot is holding pistachios hostage.
Oh yeah, this is you know that's the scam. You know y'all put y'all pistachios out there. I'm really taking pistachios from y'all and putting them in my account. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm hustling y'all.
I see how you are. Second of all, there was a comment in the chat box, and I think it was first name. She was talking about how, or he, not sure because there's first name, was discussing how the fact that men don't like to eat and they're never home. Well, if they're not home and they don't eat, then where's the relationship?
Some of those statements that, yes, ma'am, first name was making were a little crazy to me. One, because if men aren't eating these days, how the fuck is everybody getting fatter? Like, look, I get it. There's fast food places all over the place, but motherfuckers is eating. Women aren't cooking that type of food as much because they're not able to. They don't have the skill set to do so. I think a lot of recipes have been lost along the way.
There's every convenience available to be able to do it. You got Instant Pot, crock pot, stove, oven, refrigerator. I mean, it's not like you got to go out and kill it, bring it back in, strip it, and fry it in a pan. Yeah. You know, you just go to the grocery store.
Man, if you have a broad that can do all that, shit, if I can kill it and bring it home and she can do the rest, shit, I'm with that.
Yep. But that's, okay, and again, I'm coming at it from a 50-plus age group. And I would like to say that I have traditional values with modern persuasion.
What is modern persuasion?
I won't just settle for anything going into the second half of my life, but that doesn't mean I still don't have traditional values and wouldn't cook for somebody or clean for somebody or do traditional wife situations. And the other thing is what your statement about men settling for scraps. Is it because they're setting the bar too low, or is it because they're not thinking that any woman's going to meet the bar that they set?
I don't even think it's like men. I don't think most men walk around with a quote unquote bar, right? Mm-hmm. I think there's a woman out there that a man may have, you know, I would like this, but there's a woman out there who'd be like, you know what, I said I want all this, but you know what, this bitch is it. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think that the quality of the selection is there. I mean, think about it. Like, okay, so I say me, I'm a little bit older, right? And say I'm out here trying to date or whatever. I don't have kids. Every woman I come across has children, if not multiple. So that means I have to settle for multiple people, not just one. And then at this point, if the chick is at this late age and ain't had no kid, then you start to wonder, like, what's wrong with you? Like, unless you had a situation where you're not medically able to have children, that's one thing. But then you kind of wonder, like, is this bitch crazy? Is this motherfucking ran off? Like, why? You know, so it's like, it's a bit of a conundrum. And again, me, I'm different because I don't want kids. I don't really care about it. Like, that's not a major factor to me. But for a man that does, right? A man that wants children, if he was older, if he was my age, his options are so few to start his own family. More than likely, he's going to have to start a blended family with some other man's kid. That's a burden that most men, or not most, but a lot of men will have to take on if they want to get out here in the dating, especially if you're older. I mean, shit, anything pretty much above 24, 25, you damn near going to be dealing with a woman with a child. So, but if you flip the script, it's not like that with men. It's a significantly fewer number. So a chick can say, oh, I want a man, and they don't have that. He's not going to have the same burdens because a child is a burden, regardless of, you know, you can love him and all that stuff, but still you got to feed it, clothe it, you know, all the necessary things. Like, it's a burden, right? So if I want to fuck with you and you got a kid, well, then that's extra stuff I have to consider. That means my schedule has to work around the schedule of another man's child, right? Regardless of how you look at it. As a woman, you're gonna look, it's my kid, I love it, we're a pack. That's cool. That's I respect that, right? And if I fuck with a chick who has a kid, I respect that and I accept that. And a lot of women don't give men the benefit of accepting that. They just feel like you have to, because I'm me. It's like, no, the motherfucker don't have to, and a lot of motherfuckers won't. If a motherfucker's fucking with you and you have that additional, but like I say, the entitled mindset, like women don't think about it. Like, hey, this man is fucking with me even though I have these additional issues. He could be with somebody that don't have none of that, right? But instead, they make it seem like, oh, it's a plus for you to to join this other situation. And it's not. It's not. It's cool for you because you got a man now and you still got the kid. But now I got to deal with another problem that's not. So again, women aren't going to look at it like that because they're going to view it differently. But I mean, this is just one of the many things that men are set for. Like I say, you're not getting the same quality of cooking. You got a lot of women don't clean. You know what I mean? They want you to make so much money, and then they want you to get a maid, or they want you to make so much money so you can take them out to Steak 48 every goddamn night, or some fancy ass restaurant. Women don't do the things. Like even nowadays, I saw abroad that the first date needs to be $300. Like, this is the ridiculous shit women say nowadays, right? What about you makes you think that you deserve $300 out of my pocket for my labor, hard work, whatever it is, just to entertain your company? And you're not that interested, you know. So
I actually feel bad. I'm sorry for interrupting, but I actually feel bad for these youngins not knowing how to cook. That was something that my husband and I did, and that gave us intimate moments. That's what gave us bonding moments. Those are priceless times. I mean, spending money, anybody can do it, but you're kind of left empty with the experience of going out to eat if you do it all the time. You know, spending time in close quarters in a kitchen and making something together, that's lasting memories. You know, and so basically, women are dining and dashing?
Basically,
is that what I'm hearing?
We talked about it a while back. They have a thing that they call foodie calls. There are women, and this is a thing. There are women who have no intention. This is why you're settling for scraps, because you don't even know what the fuck you're getting out of the bitch you talk. She might just be using you for social media validation, a free meal, or whatever else. Like you again, it's like you have no fucking idea. So, but yeah, foodie calls. So you got bitches who will go on these dates with men just to go out to eat, just to get some free fucking food, and have no intentions of nothing. But let a dude say, oh, you know, I just want to fuck you. I don't want to. Well, you have no intentions. I'm like, no, you using me, I'm gonna use you. Like, but then it's a double standard, right?
I wouldn't say it's a double standard. I'd say there's just two sides to the same coin. I mean, women get played on all the time. They'll say no, 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 and the guy keeps, you know, making all these promises, and then, hey, it was a hit it and quit it, and you know, they got what they needed and they walked away. So I see that the game's played on both sides and neither one's coming out happy, so why not just own up and show a little honesty? Instead of trying to play that game or the one over that other person, because in the long run, it's not working.
No, I agree.
It's all short-term satisfaction.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I think that, you know, especially even in a situation where you're not wanting to have a long-term relationship, be honest. Like, hey, look, I think you're attractive. I would like to fuck with you. I'm not necessarily looking for love. I'm not, you know, looking for a relationship. And you'll be surprised, and fellas, take notes. You'll be surprised at the outcomes you get. Like, stop manipulating women with the whole fake relationship situation. Oh, woo, 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 woo. Just tell her straight up. You'll be surprised what you'll get and how much easier, because and it'll make it easier on you, because you spend all this time woo woo one of these bitches to tell them you want to take them out to eat and all this whining and dining shit. If you just want to fuck, tell them you just want to fuck, but you got to make sure you mean that, stand on that. and you'll be surprised what you get. We're gonna talk about that one day.
Well, you're right. You're absolutely right. Stand on that. But the thing is that be prepared for whatever the outcome is, whether it's a yes or a no.
Absolutely.
And that's sometimes where men don't want to get turned down.
No, I agree with that. But also, that's part of being a man. We assume all the risk. Women don't have any risk. Women have no risk.
Well, we still assume some risk.
What risk?
We're putting out.
Well, y'all getting. Let's talk about that, right? Let's talk about.
Okay.
Now, me and Ms. Bill, we're going to talk about pussy, okay? And
sure.
This is my thing. This is what it kills me, because women use pussy as a curse. And again, we talk about it. Like I said, most men.
Not
probably,
all women.
Well, majority.
Most.
Because y'all know what the man wants, even though you may not put it out there. Y'all know what his purpose is, and a lot of y'all will vaguely do things or manipulate the situation subtly. I'm not saying you're outright just trying to get over, but do things because you know what he wants, and y'all will use that to your advantage, right? So let's just say that. But I'm not getting. It's not a benefit to give me some pussy, right? Because you're gonna get a good outcome. So like, how is that of value just to me? Like, it's a mutual thing. We're both gonna walk away from this thing equally satisfied. Maybe you more satisfied than me, but it is like this. And again, this don't apply because I know it don't apply to all men, so I understand. But
for all women, but yeah.
To me, I look at it like this: like, don't tell me, you're like, I don't give a fuck. Like, pussy ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I fuck with the package around the pussy. I want the pussy, don't get me wrong, but the package around the pussy is important too. Like, I got a vibe with you because, like I say, it's nothing. It's nothing to.
So you like the whole present, not just the action.
Like, it's got to be a certain thing, right? Like, it's got to be a level of a connection there, right? Because I don't like doing all the willy nilly shit too much. You know
the
what I'm
apple
saying?
or appeal of your eye.
Yeah, like I'm a builder. You know what I'm saying? So I'm a build on. I like to, I find somebody I'm compatible with. We're gonna build on that. But it is what it is. But again, if I was out there in full, it's not. That's what I'm saying. That's why I say it's scraps, because it's so easy now. Like Montero was saying, motherfuckers don't even go out and get numbers anymore. You getting Instagram, so you pulling women on dating apps or what? It's nothing, right? So. And what has happened, though, is by women putting themselves out there so much, they've devalued the gift that they had. Women were a sacred, special, they were the prize. Women used to be the prize, right? But now when you want to act like a man and do all the stuff that a man does, but there's certain factors and things that impact you differently from a man, you've lost that. You lost that. When you want to do everything everybody else is doing, you lose that. You know what I mean? And so that's what has happened is most women have lost the feminine qualities, the benefits that came with that. And so now they're all massively acting like niggas. Then what the fuck? I'm gonna treat you like a nigga. You're not gonna get that respect. You're not gonna get that same treatment if you act like one of my fucking homeboys versus something that is to be respected, something that is classy, something that is of value, because I don't see it everywhere. If you act like every other bitch that's out there, then what is that? You're not special, and that's the thing. Everybody want to act like everybody, do everything everybody else is doing, and then expect that somebody should place some level of value on it. But it is what it is. Not me. So.
Okay, let me kind of go here though too. Don't you think that some of it has to actually do with the very beginning of where two people meet, whether it's a meat market online or whether it's the grocery store or in church or who knows, playing in the gym. Some of those things define how people connect. Mm-hmm. If you're in a bar, it's going to be a quickie. There should be no expectation of a relationship. But if you meet somebody in church or a library, who knows? Not to say that they should expect more, because that's still not right. But also the venue in which you connect with a person matters too.
I definitely agree. I mean, well, not so much maybe place necessarily, but intention. You know what I mean? Like, because I could go to church with intention to find a bitch I just want to fuck on, right? And a lot of them probably gonna be with it because they just came from the club last night. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's just the intention in which you approach.
All right. So riddle me this. This kind of comes back to what you said. Mm-hmm. Modern men are settling for scraps, but how honorable are their intentions with women?
I mean, I think that again, it kind of goes back to what I was saying is just that women don't carry themselves with that essence anymore. Like you used to, like we were talking about, like Marilyn Monroe versus Sexy Red. Both in their respective times considered by society to be pretty whorish, right? But Marilyn Monroe for that time, you know, this bitch fucking with the president. But Marilyn Monroe carried herself in a sexy, kind of classy way. Like even the little dress blowing up thing. Now back in then, that was taboo, you know. But
Big time.
It was a sensual. It wasn't everything is out there. It's like you know what's there.
You mean a sense of modesty?
A slight modesty. It was like it's that subtle sexiness that really has the power. When you just a trash bitch, you putting your titties all out there and your ass all out there, you wearing strings and shit, like there's nothing left for the imagination. You're a whore.
Absolutely. So you're talking the difference between sexy and glamorous rather than slutty and hoish.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, but what the modern woman doesn't know what sexy and glamorous is anymore. They don't know what sexy, sultry, none of that shit. They don't even know how to be seductive anymore, right? And so now it's just, I'm going to dress like a whore because I want to participate in whore behavior. And that's cool. Let's find if that's what you want to do. But there's nothing sexy about it. It's like, oh, that bitch fucking. You know, it's just, the man's going to look at that like, oh, that's easy money right there. Oh, I know what she's on. Like, and the thing is, again, like, back in the day, there was a societal stigma about women being openly partnered, we'll call it, right? and maybe with men too, but maybe not so much. Men kind of had, the leeway. So again, still, when you're having women who are promoting more sexuality, and I'm cool with. I'm all for. I'm all for fucking women, sexual liberation. Do what the fuck you want to do. I'm not going to press you. But you have to understand with your behavior comes trade-offs. So if you choose to be sexually liberated, you're going to probably be liberated from marriage. Because while you playing pogo stick, hopping dick to dick, that man that you meet that is everything that you wanted, you can't even be honest with it. Because women know. Because if your behavior was ideal, you would be able to be honest, I fucked 52 different guys this year and one a week and I just like it. And what is he gonna think? I don't want you. I don't want to compete with ghost dicks. I don't want to have to compete with all these niggas you used to fuck with that may have done this, that, and the third to you. Or if I engage in these behaviors, it's nothing new to you. I'm not showing you nothing new because you've been ran through. So there's no real connection. We're not building anything. We don't really have memories. This is just, I did this with so-and-so, I'm doing it with you. It's like there's no value there. So men don't want to entertain a lot of these broads, right? Because it is what it is. And it's like I say, it is what it is. I mean, most women nowadays are just good for fucking. But it's different.
That goes both ways. There are women that don't want men with high body counts either.
Very few. Very few. Because the thing is, like the young man just said, it's about 20% of the men doing all the single fucking. There's 20% of the men creating all the babies. You got 30% of men, or in the black community at least, we say this. You got the 30%, well, they thought that was like 38, but he said 30%, cool, married. You got 20% doing all the fucking. You got half of the men out there with no fucking kids, right? So if all these women, because more than half of the women got kids, so if they're not married, because women ain't getting married, the black women especially aren't getting married at those numbers, what's happening? They're all fucking the same dude. And they know that dude got baby mamas. They know that dude is fucking bitches. They want him because he's physically attractive, or the biology, his masculinity, what they perceive to be masculinity, is the thing that attracts them. So they all want the same thing. So they're all fucking the same dudes. So it may be few and far between that don't. Okay. Go ahead.
1 second, let me deviate. So what I'm hearing from you is they'll screw him so that can be a sperm donor. But if he's got that many kids, he's not really going to be a good father because he can't be one-on-one with all of them.
Yeah, but they'll still do it.
Really, what in the sense is, why keep the DNA if you're not going to get the actual person as a representation of a father?
Well, that's a question for the women who do that. I mean, that's the sensible
But isn't
behavior.
that kind of what y'all have been talking about a little bit, selling for scraps when, so what I'm hearing you say is that women don't have moderation when it comes to their sexuality, or some women don't have moderation when it comes to sexuality, and it ruins for a lot of others.
Yeah, I would say that, like, because here's the thing, and it's tough for a woman, right? Because y'all have less wiggle room in a man's eyes because they want to view you as special, right? They want to view you as unique. They want to view you as, a man wants to, it's not about possessing an item like something, you know, materialistic or anything like that. It's about, I want to be able to have that bond with you. But once you've gotten to a certain point, you're not gonna, most men can't have that bond with certain women, right? Like, you can't because of multiple factors. And so a lot of guys are just like, you know what, that's why you got the MGTOW shit. Men are going their own way. Or you got the red pill communities because they have to see, like, a lot of men don't know what women, their true nature is. And a lot of women aren't that good, you know. You may be in a circle where you see women who are good or this, that, and a lot of times your girlfriends and friends ain't gonna tell y'all the truth. They lie to y'all. We've seen it all the time. Women behave differently around other women than they do when they are alone. If it's whether it's one-on-one with men or they're in a conversation with a group of men or whatever it may be, they behave significantly differently when they're alone versus when they're with a group of women, right? So again, like when y'all say, my friends would never do this, they lying to y'all because they be doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I say certain shit. Like, I'm not a person that likes to speak on shit I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Like, I fucking hit my elbow. But
well, you kind of hit that on the target coming from a woman.
Yeah. Well, it's like I said, it's just, my deal is just like, I speak from my experiences. I speak from, you know, whatever. But it's just that it is what it is. And I'm not saying that, oh, because you got a high body count, you're not going to ever get married or whatever. It'll be a dude there. But 9 times out of 10, the more you add to that count, the less likely it's going to be an ideal, the one that you want. It may be a dude you can deal with, but more than likely it's not going to be the one that you want. You know what I mean? Or that a woman wants. And so it is what it is. So you got to take that trade-off. A bunch of dicks and a lot of sexual pleasure, or a solid foundation of commitment, family, loving relationship type situation. And I'm not saying every relationship that you get in with a person, there's domestic violence in marriage, there's all of those stuff. We're just speaking of generalities. We can always go into details and nuance. But
well, that being said, let me ask you another question. Who do you think's more thirsty these days in the younger generation, the men or the women?
Who's more thirsty?
Yeah.
Women. Hands down. Women, like, it's significantly, because we don't call it thirst, but women are by far thirsty. They're the biggest attention seekers. So I'm not even gonna get into the place. We'll be in the Discord after. I'm gonna put the link in there for y'all, because I got something I want to say. But women, think about it. Like, so what is it the whole term thirst trap?
Yep.
You know, they say, oh, well, the men are thirsty because they're responding. But no, the bitch is thirsty because she put that out because she wants the attention. She knows what it's going to do. She knows what she's going to get if she wears puts a picture up of her in her Sunday best church outfit versus if she put on the outfit that she wore to the club the night before, right? You know what I'm saying? She knows the response she's going to get. Showing more skin, doing all this stuff. That's the women are the thirst traps. The women are the thirsty ones. They are desperate for attention. Men,
the more aggressive too.
Men are lame. Like, don't get me wrong. A lot of men are fucking lame as shit, right? I'm not gonna discount that because that's why these bitches do it, because they know that those lame ass dudes are gonna be the ones that's gonna give them attention, right? Oh, you so beautiful, you so wonderful. I'll give you all this. So they think, oh, I got men, I got all kind of. You don't want them niggas. You don't want them dudes. Like, it's just the fact to say, oh, I got attention, but you not fucking with none of them. Why? Because it ain't what you want. You hoping to get the attention from the one you want, but that motherfucker don't want you because he sees your behavior. He sees what you want. He's like, man, I would never. I might knock it down and pass it to my partner, something like that. But I'm not gonna cuff that. I'm not gonna wife that. You know what I'm saying? Because again, and the ones that are hoes that do is because they actually have a personality or they actually bring something else to the table. Because you can be a hoe and have other traits that are acceptable, you know. But not every nigga's gonna fuck with it. But again, like I said, it's. We're all bad, right? We all got issues. I'll never discount that. You've never heard me sit here and saying that then that man ain't flawed. You've never heard any man in the den not sit here and address the issues men have as well. Because we know this, because we deal with these motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? So we on a daily basis, we know. But at the same time, like I said, we know women too. And women are by far worse. You know what I mean? And the more time they have to get older alone, the worse off they get, right? Because there's more and more attention. I see 50, 60-year-old women on Instagram, on, Twitter and all this stuff, posting crazy fucking pictures that you would be like, what is wrong with you? Bitch, you somebody great grandma probably. And you out here with your ass out trying to be, the cougar queen or whatever the fuck it is. It's just like, it's out of there. Like, women are out of there because it's a lot of them. What they call them now, glamours. You want to be a glamorous grandma?
Yeah, that's been around for a while.
Yeah, get out of here. Like, that shit's crazy stuff to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm not saying you got to go put on the Mormon draws and do all that, because you got older, but you can do, you will post it on social media like a 20-year-old. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that comes back to modesty, as we were talking about, and that, again, it shows thirst.
Yeah.
One last thing that I wanted to comment before I go is that in the late 80s, early 90s, started the trifecta of, what was that? Phil Donahue, Jerry Springer, Oprah, and who's the other one?
Yeah, Sally Jesse, you had Ricky Lake.
Wilco, Ricky Lake. I mean, all those multimedia television shows brought white trash and brought ghetto action on a stage where everybody could see it because they thought that they were making themselves better, but in the long run, really what did it do? Like you get teen mamas and promoting that. Not to say that, it happens, yes, but the thing is that promoting it makes other teens want to do it. And when you've got vulnerable and moldable teens watching these shows at 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, that has definitely shaped some of that generation, do you think?
Yeah, oh, absolutely. And that goes back to what I'm saying about you got a lot of moms who are not aware how their behavior impacts their children. So a lot of women are watching these shows. There's probably way more women watching these shows than men. I'm sure you had dudes who were watching it, but what's happening? You watching this in the afternoon, kids getting home from school. Well, what's mama watching? Because this is before everybody had a screen in their hand and, getting distracted by a million different things. You know what I mean? The TV's on, might be a TV or two in the house. If it's the only TV or mama watching, you're going to sit down and watch what she watching. So now you're seeing all these women complaining about men are terrible. You see these host bashing men or all these negative stories. This stuff is going to impact your mind as a child. You know what I'm saying? And now you're going to start looking at shit through a different lens and you're going to respond accordingly. Like, people don't realize how significant small actions can have on a child, right? And how it can impact the way they think about stuff, the way they believe, their belief systems. And that goes along with them for years, right? So,
and invisible scarring is what they call it.
I've never heard of it. Okay, I'll jot that down. Invisible scarring. That's a great term.
Well, it's like a disability on the inside that you can't see, like somebody having asthma or a heart condition. Emotional trauma or scarring, you don't see it, but it's still there.
Yeah, I definitely see it. All right. Well, you have any other thoughts that you would like to add, Miss Bell?
Nope, I'm just real proud of the guys for calling in. I think that's awesome. And looking like a really good 10 tonight. Yeah. And I'll see you in the Discord after we're done.
Yes, ma'am. All right. Well, thank you for calling in, Miss Bell, and sharing your thoughts with me this evening.
All right. Night.
All right. So, first one, that'll be the last one. It's about time to wind it down here in a second. So, first, let me get the link to the Discord. And, hey, if y'all want to keep this conversation going, it's like, I'm not fucking with y'all in the damn Discord this late tonight. I had like 3 hours of sleep last night. I'm in the little meetings at work. I'm in this motherfucker leaning, like tired and shit, tripping. And that'd take me a power nap. That'd take me 2 power naps after I got off before the fuck did. I almost took me a third. But let me put this link up in this bitch. But like I said, again, men are, and I see what you said, young Ken. I know you said that, men are way more thirsty, right? But, women put men in the position to be thirsty, right? Because again, do you think that the men, like, think about the don't know if they're all Muslims or Islamic or whatever, where they wear the garb, where they're all covered up. Do you think those dudes are as thirsty as the dudes here in America? And if you don't think they are, why not? What is the difference? You know what I mean? What is the difference? Because I've heard a person say, I can't remember who exactly it was, but it made a lot of sense. They were talking about they went to one of those Middle Eastern countries or whatever, right? And they're like, the whole time they were out there, they had a good time, they weren't thinking about it. They never thought about sex. As soon as they came back to America and touched down on the plane, back here, they said it was everywhere. Because you think about the billboard, a gym wants you to work out at the gym, but they're gonna show you a fit chick with some big ass titties, when a lot of them bitches be having muscle titties, or a buff dude, because the chicks want the strong dude, and they're gonna show you a fit chick. She ain't gonna be too buff, but she gonna look good. They're gonna say sex. Shit, the fucking soda companies try to sell you some sex. You get to drinking beer. Oh, you're gonna party with bitches and get drunk. It's gonna be a good old time. Like, you know what I'm saying? No, but I'm not. I'm not removing any. I'm not taking the responsibility off anybody. Ultimately, the man has to be. But again, men ain't men no more. Why? Because the lack of the value of the family. Who's the one splitting up the family? More so now than anything else. And I gotta be careful because there's certain things I want to say, but there's a lot of we're gonna have a lot of fucking topics about a lot of shit, right? Because I'm telling you, I got a lot of shit I wrote down, and because I'm trying not to say certain things. There are points I need to make on these other topics with this, but again. And what is his first name saying? Something about why can't men check the small minority of men running the women into the dating pool? Why aren't you checking women who are bad behavior? Women always want to put on, well, this first and foremost. Women, especially women like you, you're not going to say it. You really, truly, deep down in your core, believe that men are better than women because of the things you say. Because you'll put there, well, why don't you do this, and this? But you don't expect it from women because you don't believe women can do it. So therefore, ergo, pray tell, you believe that men have more self-control, more power, more ability to handle situations like this. So, and I understand, and I probably agree with you, but it's always why we can't control men and do it. Men have less and less power each and every day. A lot of men ain't acting up because they're afraid of Me Too's and all this other stuff. We never address women's bad behavior because, again, they're never held accountable for their actions until you hit them with a brick. They're never chastised. That's why a lot of them act the way they act, because men are afraid to say, hey, look, just like you check another man, you can check a bitch too. Like, anybody can get checked. I can get checked. Maybe. But the thing about it is, it's a situation where one group is significantly getting worse than the other because they're starting to act like the other, right? But they're not biologically built that way. A woman, sit here and say what you want to say. Say what you want. You say what the fuck you want to say. The more ran through a woman is, the more mental issues she's going to have. Period. Again, I believe in soul ties. I believe in that there are connections. Well, I know people talk about pair bonding, things like that. I'm a firm believer in this stuff, right? Like, because it's true. We've gotten away from a lot of the old ways. I don't think the way we live in modern society at all is correct. I don't think I got a lot of views that we're not going to get into tonight, but they're kind of the foundation of why I believe the way I believe. But again, who has all the rights, right? We talk about women power and all this, but you give women power, what do? Get naked. You give a woman power, the first thing she wants to do is get naked because she knows that's where her power lies. And again, without that, most of y'all are corny, boring, uninteresting, and so that's why y'all have to promote that. And then a lot of y'all don't understand that y'all are that way to men and then get mad about it because you're not interesting. But you just like a dude that's not interested. So if I got somebody I know and he's a dull ass mother, he's not in, well, nobody gets upset about that. But you say a woman's not interested, how dare you, you're a misogynist, I don't care about the things you care about, and I shouldn't. Right? And that's what makes us fucking different. Like, if I cared about the shit you cared about, if you came home and you see me all work and I'm watching some old gossip rag or some shit, you gonna look at me funny. But yeah, this is the shit you gonna want to fucking talk about, expect a man to talk about. It's like, get the fuck out of here. It don't make no fucking sense. You know what I'm saying? Men, what are you saying? Like, now, I don't know. The stuff you've been saying tonight has been, I don't know if you're trying to troll or what, but it is, the logic ain't been there. Like, it has not been there. From the food thing, like, what the fuck? The men don't want to eat? That's the most asinine shit I've ever heard in my fucking life. But anyway, all right. Oh, but see, this is the thing. Yeah, that's when we started. See, when you used to be able to, thought it was legal to beat your hoe. When you used to be able to kind of, you see where you have all these problems, you know. I had a chick tell me that. Man, look, y'all don't know. I hate saying shit, right? Because it sounds like I'm being a fucking dickhead. It really does. It really, really does. But I've learned a lot. I learned a lot through conversations, face-to-face human interactions. I had a chick tell me that. I had a chick tell me that women need to be slapped. Not that they need to be beaten, but that men should be allowed to, you know, just a little correction. You know what I'm saying? A little, you know what I mean? There's not one thing that you said this evening that you've been right about. You may believe the things you're saying, so you feel like you're right, but you haven't said anything that you've been accurate about. I don't think you've said anything that you could back up with proof. Not a single thing that you said. Everything has been emotional. Everything has been just a reaction to what I'm saying. So I don't think what you're saying is very logical at all. So yeah, love taps. And the reason I'm tapping you is because I love it. I don't want you to crash per se. Instead of, you know, it's just like you whoop your kids, right? A little emotion correction, right? So anyway. So again, it is what it is. I'm just telling you, like, there's different worlds out here, and you just got to figure out how it works for you. You know what I mean? And like, what work for me not gonna work for you. What works for her ain't gonna work for her. You know what I'm saying? And that's the problem. Everybody want to live everybody else's life. And you got to figure it out for yourself, right? And again, it may be dudes who might want to get married to a bitch that's been ran through by 400 niggas. And he may want to get played. And he may be a cuck. He may want to fuck other niggas. But that exists. But that's not the majority. And a shout out to Toxic State of Mind. Say we need to start addressing the fact that outliers of these of these topics have grown as a whole. They're still a minority within the overall total, but the groups are increasing in size. And that's the point. Like, because there's real people and there's internet people, right? I'm an internet person, but I'm also a real person. But you have some people who are 100% internet people. You have people who are 100% real, and their worlds never cross over. But what you have a lot is you have internet people seeing other internet people saying internet stuff for internet clout, right? Shout out to the lovely Miss K Grace. What you smoking? What you smoking first name? Because I mean, you know, my plug been out. I need something because women can be. Stop the nonsense. Again, women have to forcibly be alone. They have no choice. Men don't have to be alone. They go get them a woman, right? Women don't have no. If a man don't want you, you don't be alone. Like, you got to deal. It's not like you have a choice. You don't have the say so, right? So if you alone, it's because you ain't been chose. That's it. If a woman is alone, it's because she ain't been chose. Period. Point blank. That's that. If a man is alone, it's either by choice or he ain't found the one that he wants, right? That's that. Because, what is it? Men control access to relationships. Women just got pussies. So, it's all good. You have to, you know what I'm saying? Well, you could have left the messages there, because I definitely want to engage this conversation. I really wish, I hope you get in the Discord. But anyway, let me put the link in here, because I find it really entertaining, because I'm not mad about it. You're just showing your colors. So it's nothing to me. But this is, I want fellas to see these things. I want y'all to know there's some chicks that y'all may be fucking with that think like this. That's why you got to be careful when you stick your dick. You know? So, me personally, yeah, you can't be fucking on everybody. You know what I'm saying? Could you imagine having a crazy motherfucker who thinking like that, getting stuck on you because you done laid it down on them? And look, and if they crazy talking crazy like this on some regular shit, imagine you put that thing on it, that fatal attraction, nigga. You better be careful. With that being said, man, I appreciate, I thank each and every one of you wonderful people. I want to say a special shout out to the lovely Miss Sarah Lou. I appreciate the Cash App love. Shout out to Dan, the motherfucking man with the plan. I also appreciate the support. I'm gonna get a shirt. I'm gonna get a shirt made that says, "I'm Dan, bitch." Actually, Ken, once I kind of get stuff in order, there's a thing I want to do. I am gonna bring back the gaming streams. I just ain't been gaming as much, but I'm gonna do a thing. I don't know if I'm maybe do it on Twitch or I'm gonna do it on YouTube, or I may do both, maybe multi-stream or something. But it's gonna be Huncho Does Horror. I'm only gonna play horror genre games, right? And I really don't fuck with them, but I think it'll be entertaining. So, you know, all like the Resident Evils, fucking Evil Within's, shit like that. I'm gonna start playing shit like that now, streaming those type of things. Cause yeah, I ain't gonna lie, sometimes the little jump scares get like video game horror is way better than real movie horror because you're way more invested in it, right? Good night, Miss Grace. Good night, Dita Gamma. Good night, lovely Miss Sarah Lou. But yeah, because you so vested into the game and you're like into any motherfucker jump like you fucking, you know, you let out a little squeal like a little bitch. But anyway, I fucking love y'all, man. I appreciate y'all. Shout out to all the callers this evening. Shout out to Mr. Montero. Shout out to Unbeaten. Shout out to Ms. Bell. Shout out to First Name. We kept the chat very entertaining this evening. You know, you was talking crazy. It wasn't making no sense, but shout out to you. Finna be in the Discord right now. Again, beat me there. Don't meet me there. Spider-Man 2. That shit ain't on the box. You know, I'm an Xbox nigga. Is it on the box? I don't even know. But there's the link. I'm already in that thing. I think I'm in that thing. I'm in that thing. That's what she said. All right, cool. So again, if you have any arguments, you want to continue the conversation, I'm gonna be in there a little while. I ain't fucking with y'all till no 4:30 in the morning tonight. Like I was in the bitch till 4:30 in the morning last night. I'm not gonna fucking do that shit tonight. So y'all want to talk? We can talk. We do all that good shit. But I'm not gonna be in the Discord till 4:30 in the morning. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, I'm choking up a deuce. I appreciate y'all, man. I truly love, appreciate, and I'm invested in y'all. For real. I really am. I thank y'all. Y'all be cool like y'all be cool. But I'm gone. I'm out.